anyone should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it should be Melissa Etheridge.
I agree.
So
Hands down.
she paved the way for a lot of other female artists that are now accepted and loved and adored. And Melissa paved the way for all of them. And I've seen Melissa turn water into wine in front of audiences.
Dude, I saw you guys perform at Cleveland. So I wanted to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
She was dressed in leather.
Yeah, we were all in leather.
You had the headband.
Yeah.
You guys were kicking. But she was one of the greatest.
And I remember she was great at Woodstock. We played Woodstock, and it was 500,000 people. I'd never played in 500 that many people.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, she could take an audience.
And a lot of people didn't survive 94 Woodstock as far as their performances, and because they choked.
Oh, wow.
And she rose above.
You don't choke.
She had all the mud people on acid loving her by the end of and we were playing between Henry Rollins and Nine Inch Nails. That's how it, and that's how good she was.
She's that good. There's nobody like her. Her energy.
So anyway, so her support of me, all of a sudden my phone started ringing. It was like I was accepted. Like now you can produce other people. Now you can produce records. Now you're going to be the go-to guy as a songwriter. And this was in the 90s. And because of that moment in my life, I've never stopped working. So
everybody has that moment.
And not that we weren't working to get to that moment. Yeah. You know, I remember a story you told me that I don't know if you've told on your channel yet, is when you first were going to do a session for Mellencamp, and you basically, he came to you and said, "You're not ready."
Yeah, I'm not on the record.
You're not ready. Yeah. And you wanted to play on the record. Yeah. And he said, "We're going to bring in another guy to play on the record. So you should just stay home." And you, in your wisdom and humility, said, "Can I come down and watch the other guy play? Because I want to learn."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a life lesson.
Well, dude, I was terrified to go home with my tail between my legs, and there was no way.
But you went to him and said,
I'm not going.
I might not be there yet in your eyes, but I will go there and suck it up and watch to see what because I want what he has.
Yeah.
And that's about life. You got to show up and you got to go, what is he doing? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you hadn't done that moment, you wouldn't have been the go-to guy for Don was and all those when you start playing on all those records and everyone's like, and then you get to Jack and Diane, you get, all of a sudden I want the guy who played that fill. Yeah. How do we sample that snare drum?
Yeah, exactly.
How do we get that guy? Because that guy's a powerhouse. Yeah. But you had to humble yourself.
Yeah.
And we've all been in those moments where you have to just eat crow, and so what is it, preparation, and then getting poised, getting to that moment in your life where you've done all the woodshedding, the homework, and it's lonely, and you're in your room and nobody cares, and you're doing it because you love it, and you're playing on a Sunday night for 4 people, and you literally thank the audience for coming out, and you go, Bill, Stephanie, and everyone who's there, and everyone's like, does Kenny really have it?
Yeah.
I had that conversation with my parents. That was a nice dream. Good for you.
Yeah. Now what are you going to do?
Now what are you going to do? Maybe you should go into TV editing. Maybe that's what you should do. And I was like, nope.
That's when you know you're doing the right thing, because you're
doing it for yourself
and from your heart. That's who you are. That's your essence.
But that's why I connected with you, because when you and I met, because we could talk about the personal side of this, is that you and I met, and to me you were like a long lost brother, because we're band guys. We would sit in the back of the bus and go, "Is this a band? It's not really a band, is it?" It's her name on the marquee, but we really want to be, and we would, because we come from that mentality that we have a lot to offer and we care about what we're doing. And you supported me and it was a lot of nurturing unconsciously from you to me, and to have you, it made me a better musician playing with you.
Well,
and I learned so much. I'm a little deaf in my left ear because of you, but I learned so much being in a room
you're
with
on
you.
that side.
Yeah, my left.
Well,
that symbol, that one
we used
symbol.
to jam 2 hours a day before a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
You, me, and Mark.
Yeah.
Because we loved the music.
Yeah. And we would play like Wired and Zeppelin and, you know, but it's so important to have comrades and mentors and the irony that you and I bonded, you know, on the field and off the field. And then the irony that your parents and my parents became friends at the end of their in their life, at the end of both their lives, to, in a sense, the last 15 years of their lives.
Yeah.
You know, they would have dinners together because they lived in towns near each other.
Yeah.
And then your brother, which I never knew you had a twin.
I forget to tell people.
Kenny has an identical twin.
Yeah.
Which is the famous story where there was a band that was going through Stockbridge or something and saw you walking down the street. Bonnie Raitt's band. And they tackled your brother on the street.
Yeah.
And they were like, Kenny. And he's like, I'm not Kenny. They're like, shut up, you're Kenny. And he's like, no, I'm John.